Namaskar and welcome to this special presentation on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. We are at the iconic Brooklyn Bridge in New York. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent visit to the United States was a historic one. India's engagement in diverse domains was taken forward. We'll take a look at the key takeaways from Prime Minister's visit through the perspective of the key events, the Quad Summit, the Summit of the Future, Prime Minister's engagement with world leaders at the bilateral level. Prime Minister also engaged with industry leaders in the domain of emerging technologies. And finally, the mega Diaspora program that took place in Nassau County. This is the story of India in the changing geopolitics. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the 6th Quad Leader Summit in Delaware. The event was hosted by US President Joe Biden. The leadership of Japan and Australia were also present. We saw the manner in which the traditional security partnership was expanded and strengthened in other domains as well, especially health. One of the key engagements of Prime Minister Modi during the US visit was the 6th Quad Leader Summit along with US President Joe Biden, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. The summit took place at President Biden's hometown, Wilmington, Delaware, some 100 miles north of capital Washington, D.C. Prime Minister Modi reaffirmed the Quad's commitment to a rules-based global order, emphasizing respect for national sovereignty and territorial integrity. In his address, Prime Minister said, "A free, open, inclusive and prosperous Indo-Pacific is a shared priority of the Quad."
फ्रेंड्स, हमारी बैठक ऐसे समय हो रही है जब विश्व तनावों और संघर्षों से घिरा हुआ है। ऐसे में साझा डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज के आधार पर क्वाड का मिलकर साथ चलना पूरी मानवता के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हम किसी के खिलाफ नहीं हैं। हम सभी एक रूल्स बेस्ड इंटरनेशनल ऑर्डर, संप्रभुता और क्षेत्रीय अखंडता के सम्मान और सभी मसलों के शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से हल निकालने का समर्थन करते हैं। फ्री, ओपन, इंक्लूसिव और प्रॉस्परस इंडो पैसिफिक हमारी साझा प्राथमिकता और साझा प्रतिबद्धता है। हमने मिलकर हेल्थ सिक्योरिटी, क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज, क्लाइमेट चेंज, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग जैसे क्षेत्रों में कई सकारात्मक और समावेशी इनिशिएटिव लिए हैं। हमारा मैसेज साफ है, क्वाड इज हियर टू स्टे, टू असिस्ट, टू पार्टनर एंड टू कॉम्प्लीमेंट.
Reiterating that Quad continues to be a force for global good, the leaders adopted the Quad Wilmington Declaration and made key announcements to address the development priorities of the Indo-Pacific region and of the global community as a whole. The highlight was the Quad Cancer Moonshot, a groundbreaking partnership to save lives in the Indo-Pacific region by combating cervical cancer.
मुझे खुशी है कि क्वाड में हमने सर्वाइकल कैंसर जैसे चैलेंज का मिलकर सामना करने का निर्णय लिया है। इन कैंसर केयर कोलैबोरेशन इज एसेंशियल फॉर क्योर। कैंसर का बर्डन कम करने के लिए प्रिवेंशन, स्क्रीनिंग, डायग्नोसिस और ट्रीटमेंट की इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच जरूरी है। भारत में मास स्केल पर बहुत ही कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव सर्वाइकल कैंसर स्क्रीनिंग प्रोग्राम चल रहा है। साथ ही भारत दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस स्कीम चला रहा है और सबको एफोर्डेबल कॉस्ट पर दवाइयां उपलब्ध कराने के लिए स्पेशल सेंटर्स भी बनाए गए हैं। भारत ने सर्वाइकल कैंसर के लिए अपनी वैक्सीन भी बनाई है और एआई की मदद से नए ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल भी शुरू किए जा रहे हैं। एक्सेलेंसी, भारत अपना एक्सपीरियंस और एक्सपर्टाइज शेयर करने के लिए तैयार है। आज कैंसर केयर में काम करने वाले भारत के कई एक्सपर्ट्स इस इवेंट्स में हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। भारत का विजन है वन अर्थ वन हेल्थ। इसी भावना से मैं क्वाड मूनशॉट इनिशिएटिव के तहत $7.5 मिलियन के सैपलिंग किट्स, डिटेक्शन किट्स और वैक्सीन का सहयोग देने की घोषणा करता हूं।
The other important takeaways of the Quad Summit included first ever Quad at Sea ship observer mission in 2025 to improve interoperability and advance maritime safety, Quad Ports of the Future partnership which will harness Quad's collective expertise to support sustainable and resilient port infrastructure development across the Indo-Pacific, Quad principles for development and deployment of digital public infrastructure in the region and beyond, a semiconductor supply chains contingency network memorandum of cooperation to enhance resilience of Quad semiconductor supply chains, collective Quad effort to boost energy efficiency, India's establishment of a space-based web portal for Mauritius, a new subcategory under the Quad STEM Fellowship announced by India for students of the Indo-Pacific region. The leaders welcomed the next hosting of the Quad Leaders Summit by India in 2025. Prime Minister Modi's next significant engagement was Summit of the Future in New York. Prime Minister addressed the Summit of the Future at the 79th United Nations General Assembly. He gave a clarion call for reform, saying that global action must match global ambition. Addressing the world leaders at the United Nations headquarters in New York, PM Modi highlighted India's vision for shaping a sustainable world for future generations, calling for the primacy of human-centric approach in the collective quest for a bright global future. Prime Minister highlighted India's success at scaling sustainable development initiatives and noted that the country had lifted 250 million people out of poverty in the last decade. Expressing solidarity with countries of the global south, he emphasized that India was privileged to share its development experience with them.
भारत में 250 मिलियन लोगों को गरीबी से बाहर निकालकर हमने यह दिखाया है कि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट कैन बी सक्सेसफुल। सक्सेस का हमारा यह अनुभव हम ग्लोबल साउथ के साथ साझा करने के लिए तैयार है। फ्रेंड्स, सक्सेस ऑफ ह्यूमैनिटी लाइज in our collective strength, not in the battlefield. और वैश्विक शांति एवं विकास के लिए ग्लोबल संस्थाओं में रिफॉर्म्स आवश्यक है। रिफॉर्म इज द की टू रिलेवेंस। अफ्रीकन यूनियन को नई दिल्ली समिट में G20 की स्थायी सदस्यता इसी दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम था। वैश्विक शांति और सुरक्षा के लिए एक तरफ आतंकवाद जैसा बड़ा खतरा है, तो दूसरी तरफ साइबर, मैरीटाइम, स्पेस जैसे अनेक संघर्ष के नए नए मैदान भी बन रहे हैं। इन सभी विषयों पर मैं जोर देकर कहूंगा कि ग्लोबल एक्शन मस्ट मैच ग्लोबल एम्बिशन.
The theme of Summit of the Future was multilateral solutions for a better tomorrow. It concluded with the adoption of an outcome document, a pact for the future, along with two annexes, Global Digital Compact and a declaration on future generations. Member states recommitted to accelerate the implementation of the 2030 Agenda through urgent and scaled-up action, policies and investments. On climate change, the pact confirmed the need to keep global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. Global leaders vowed to intensify diplomacy to settle conflicts and disputes peacefully, supported by the UN. The pact introduced measures to reduce global disparities in science, technology, and innovation. It aimed to expand and strengthen youth participation in global decision-making. The pact resolved to make the multilateral system more effective, fit for the future, just and representative, inclusive, networked, and financially stable. During his US visit, Prime Minister Modi also engaged with world leaders at a bilateral level. Besides the Quad leadership, Prime Minister also met a host of other leaders, including Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. He once again spoke about the manner in which peace must be given priority in the ongoing conflict. Prime Minister Modi and US President Biden affirmed that US-India partnership must be anchored in upholding democracy, freedom, rule of law, human rights, pluralism and equal opportunities for all, as the two countries strive to become more perfect unions and meet their shared destiny. Prime Minister Modi and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida noted that India-Japan Special Strategic and Global Partnership is in its 10th year and expressed satisfaction at the progress made in the relationship. Prime Minister Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation across a wide range of areas such as political and strategic, defense and security, trade, investments, education and research, climate change and renewable energy, along with people-to-people ties. Prime Minister also met leaders of Nepal, Kuwait, Vietnam, Armenia, Palestine and Ukraine. During the meeting with President of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, Prime Minister Modi expressed deep concern at the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza and the deteriorating security situation in the region. He reaffirmed India's unwavering support to the people of Palestine, including continued humanitarian assistance. Engaging with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Prime Minister Modi reiterated India's clear, consistent and constructive approach in favor of a peaceful resolution of the conflict through diplomacy and dialogue, as well as engagement between all stakeholders. He conveyed that India remains open to provide all support within its means to facilitate a lasting and peaceful resolution of the conflict. Critical and emerging technologies were in focus during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the United States. He engaged with industry leaders from the domain of technology. The focus was on artificial intelligence, quantum, biotechnology, semiconductor supply chain, and more. Leading American CEOs participated in a deep dive with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the evolving technology landscape at a global level and how these cutting-edge technologies are contributing to the well-being of people around the world, including India. They touched upon how technology is being leveraged for innovations which have the potential to revolutionize global economy and human development. Prime Minister highlighted the economic transformation happening in India, particularly in electronics and information technology, manufacturing, semiconductors, biotech and green development. He stated that his government was committed to making India a global hub of semiconductor manufacturing. He also dwelt on India's policy to develop India into a biotech powerhouse. On artificial intelligence, he noted that India's policy is to promote AI for all, underpinned by its ethical and responsible use. The CEOs expressed their strong interest in investing and collaborating with India.
The Prime Minister has been focused on transforming India with his Digital India vision. He pushed us to continue making in India, designing in India. We are proud to now make our Pixel phones manufactured in India. He is really thinking about how AI can transform India in a way that benefits the people of India.
I've enjoyed so many meetings with Prime Minister. He's such an incredible student. And every time I see him, he wants to learn about technology, artificial intelligence, the potential and opportunity for India, the impact on India's society and industry. And so I was delighted to be here to talk about it. India, as you know, is also home of some of the world's greatest computer scientists. So this is a great opportunity.
I was honored to meet with Prime Minister Modi and to hear more about his leadership and vision for the next decade after having such a great decade, really making India such an important part of the global technology landscape.
Prime Minister stated to me that he wants to make India energy independent. He wants to rapidly grow clean energy in the country, and meeting was for clean energy.
We had a wonderful meeting with Prime Minister Modi to exchange ideas about the advancement of technology, the use of AI and biotechnology, and the growth of India as an emerging superpower economically.
I think the Prime Minister has a vision that the 21st century is driven by technology, and clearly wants to have India front and center in the progress of technology. He pointed out, obviously, the very talented population in India.
And finally, the mega Indian Diaspora program at Nassau Coliseum. Some 15,000 Indian Americans traveled from all over America to present a memorable welcome to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He spoke about the rise of India and the Indian Americans on the global stage. Also presented a new acronym for AI, not just artificial intelligence, but America, India spirit. Prime Minister Modi's connect with the Indian diaspora is always a special one. From Philadelphia to New York, Prime Minister had many occasions to engage with the Indian Americans. The Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, was the venue for Prime Minister Modi's mega diaspora outreach. The stadium reverberated with sights and sounds of Indian culture and traditions.
Yeah, wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big stepper, underground methods. Top notch flows, get the most, not the lesser. Black mirror, look into the mirror. Pushing culture, baby, got that vision getting clearer. Trendsetter, the one to do it better. Swerving while I'm bumping, patching, yeah, rolling through the city with the big dogs. For the cars, family with me, we don't got a car. Say me on silent, but the product end up hella loud. That's how you make the money pop for everyone involved. Gotilo, tame gotilo, 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 tame gotilo, gotilo. Nathi je majama khali bavta tajama evo hard no pravasi gotilo. Evo paani se kalasi bane kai done, tera shamne thikana bane dai done. Evo paani se kalasi bane kai done, gotilo, tame gotilo, gotilo. Evo paani se kalasi bane kai done, tera shamne thikana bane dai done. Hey, chal asharfi, Srivalli, madak barfi. Teri chal asharfi, Srivalli, madak barfi.
Prime Minister Modi was welcomed by the community with exceptional warmth and enthusiasm. Addressing the gathering, PM noted that India-US relationship is profoundly enriched by the Indian-American community. He recounted the remarkable rise of India and the Indian diaspora on the global stage.
मेरे लिए हमेशा से भारत के सबसे मजबूत ब्रांड एम्बेसडर रहे हैं। और इसलिए मैं आप सबको राष्ट्रदूत कहता हूं। आपने अमेरिका को भारत से और भारत को अमेरिका से कनेक्ट किया है। आपका स्किल, आपका टैलेंट, आपका कमिटमेंट, इसका कोई मुकाबला नहीं है। एआई का मतलब है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, लेकिन मैं मानता हूं कि एआई का मतलब है अमेरिकन इंडियन। अमेरिका इंडिया, ये स्पिरिट है, और वही तो नई दुनिया का एआई पावर है। यही एआई स्पिरिट भारत अमेरिका रिश्तों को नई ऊंचाई दे रहा है।
What appealed to me the most was the fact that he said that they don't want to push people and they don't want to suppress people. They want to grow with the world. They want to promote the world together. I think that was very exciting to hear, because as Indians we have like a very strong focus on our culture, and that's the part of our culture.
The thing which he said about India, like how India got developed in last 4-5 years, it's phenomenal, and the plans which is going to implement in the next 5 years is phenomenal. So I feel that India is going in the right way.
10 years of Modi's prime ministership, we are seeing chip manufacturing in India, India holding thought leadership in just so many aspects, and could not be prouder about the progress that our country has made.
He just said it in one word, AI. It stands for America India, not just artificial intelligence. He's definitely going to bring the nation as the third seeking nation in the world for sure. And the growth has been tremendous, that we are already in the 5th place, and I'm sure that it's going to come in the 3rd place.
On the entrepreneurship, the leadership, what he has presented, the future vision, that was very, very inspiring. So we are going to add more opportunities between US, India, and we will have the global leadership. So this was great learning from Mr. Modi ji.
When he talked about the drones, who is commanding the drones, because drone, you know, it's a future, and who is commanding, that's women. That women empowerment, what he talked about, that was a fantastic, because these days women empowerment, and that to the drone technology, giving their hand to that, that's unbelievable. I think it was shocking to us.
During Prime Minister Narendra Modi's United States visit, we witnessed a deepening of India's engagement with the Quad leadership, also at a bilateral level with other friendly countries. We saw Prime Minister's celebration of Indianness and Indian diaspora to their engagement and the increasingly important role that they're playing on the global stage. Focus was also in the manner in which private sector could be made part of the stride towards sustainable development, particularly in the domain of critical technology. Prime Minister also made a passionate appeal at the United Nations calling for reforms. Those were some of the highlights and key takeaways of Prime Minister's visit to the United States. With that, we conclude this special presentation. Namaskar.